Doctor.
Thank you, Co-Chairman. I would just like to say that for 70 years, Kashmiris have been denied the right to self-determination, and they've been denied the opportunity to determine their own political future through a plebiscite, as promised by the UN Security Council resolutions in the post-partition era. During that time, Kashmiris have come out in the streets. They came out in the streets throughout the post-partition era. They came out in the streets after 1989. They came out in the streets in 2008, 2010, 2011, 2016. They've been demonstrating their aspiration for their political future by coming out in the streets, right? And so one of the most popular protest forms that we've seen in Kashmir, at least since 1989, has been the form of, it's called the UNO Chilo. It's a popular march. Thousands of people come in the streets and march to the headquarters of the UN Military Observer Group in Kashmir and take memos and petitions, right, articulating their demand for the right to determine their own political future. The Kashmir issue has always been internationalized, right? And the UN has this very, very important kind of place in Kashmiri political identity and political consciousness and political imagination. That's because Kashmir is an international dispute, and it always has been, and it continues to be to this day. The UN Office of the High Commissioner for Human Rights began expressing serious concern after India's use of excessive force through pellet-firing shotguns against innocent protesters, unarmed protesters in 2016 especially, started requesting access for monitors at that time, which led to the publication of the reports that we're talking about in 2018 and 2019. Those reports mark the international character of the Kashmir dispute, and they have been heartening, right? The international attention that has been paid to Kashmir since 2016, since 2018, and today with this hearing, like this is heartening, that the international community is recognizing the international nature of the dispute.
Earlier on this panel, I was accused of having an agenda. Just now, some of my colleagues were accused of having an agenda. This is the cost of speaking truth to Modi, Amit Shah, the BJP, RSS, and Hindu nationalists. The truth is, I do have an agenda, but it's not the agenda that my colleague thinks. I'm a human rights lawyer. I believe that everyone in this world should have their civil and human rights respected, regardless of race, faith, national origin. Today in Kashmir, there are more than 700,000 uniformed officers, okay? Those officers don't have the ability to differentiate between Muslims, Sikhs, and the LGBTQ community. Instead, they are engaged in a mass suspension of human rights. In Kashmir today, they are being tortured. Kashmiris have been arbitrarily detained. They have been blinded.
All right, please, yeah.
They have been blinded. They cannot access medicine. They cannot worship freely. They cannot speak freely. And so what I would submit to you today is this. India leads the world in internet blackouts. If India and my colleagues in the back are telling the truth, why not allow lawmakers like you into Kashmir? Why not allow European observers? Why not allow human rights observers from across the world to see for themselves? The truth is that India is hiding its atrocities, not just in Kashmir, its atrocities in Assam. It's hiding the rising hate violence that's spreading across this country.
I would like to, again, reiterate that for Kashmiri people, this is their day-to-day life. This is not a political issue that they read about, that they can afford to take extreme positions on. It impacts their day-to-day life. Their schooling is interrupted. They're separated from their family members. So I would really, just in closing, encourage all of our members of Congress, when discussing the topic of Kashmir, to pause whenever it becomes a discussion of a bilateral agreement between India and Pakistan. We know who holds power, and it's not the Kashmiri people. But what you don't know is that this recording will be couriered by someone who is able to go by plane, by car, and go into Kashmir, and people in Kashmir are going to hear that in the halls of US Congress, their plight was being discussed. And for people who have no hope, this offers some hope, that there are people who care so much about their welfare, that there's potentially a future with peace and prosperity in that valley. And for that opportunity to speak to you about Kashmir, we are all very, very deeply, deeply grateful.
I just want to make 2 or 3 quick points. This plebiscite thing comes up all the time, and the original mandate of the plebiscite was that everyone should, sort of back off from where they are. So that means Kashmir is not just with India, it's also divided in Pakistan, and a part of it is also held with China. So good luck to this Congress getting China vacating Kashmir. So if you can do that, that's not. So plebiscite is off the table. It's not going to happen in ever. So and as I said that, it's not because of India. Good luck. Everyone who's booing, good luck getting Pakistan to vacate, POK. Pakistan occupied Kashmir, and good luck getting China to vacate. So having said that, I also want to draw your attention.
Wait, I don't want to interrupt you. I just want to say we can never give up on standing for the principle that people have a right to their own self-determination. I think you'll even agree with that. So.